So these are 4 sites to use if you want to know what the insiders are doing. Please write this down or screenshot these. One is insidemonitor.com. The second one is fintel.io. The third one, openinsider.com, I've talked about before. It's pretty damn good. But this one is pretty unique. SenateStockWatcher.com. And here's the site. Some of you don't know that most senators, or those that are in government or congressional positions, tend to do better than those that are not in aggregate when it comes to return on investment. So you can click here, you can see return by senator. So if I want to see, hey, what is John Boozman invested in? It can give you a breakdown of some of the things that he's in, number of transactions, number of sales, etc. Right? Let's say if we want to go by ticker. So you guys already know Apple is one of the companies that I think is absolutely amazing, one of the best of all time. You can click in here to then see Apple, Microsoft, AMD, and it'll pull those up here as well. And then if you go to the blog, it'll give you some interesting information here about what congressmen and women are thinking. And then also too, if you go to the House Stock Watcher, it can tell you for those that are in the House of Representatives what they are investing in. So let's take a look at Allen right here. Right? We can scroll down and see activity by quarter, top traded by ticker volume, and these are the ones that he is invested in. So if you guys want an edge, you should look at and see what some of the people that are higher up on the food chain and what they are doing and what they're potentially buying, to then be able to have an edge in the market. So this stock, this one is housestockwatcher.com, and this other one right here that I initially mentioned is senatestockwatcher.com. And if you pair that with Wallmine, my God, you will have a great edge to see the ones in which they're buying and if they're good for a long period of time. If that Wallmine gem last week was amazing, put fire in chat, please. And I sent this to the Stock Club members last week, but Chinese military scientists filed for a patent for COVID vaccine on February 24th of 2020. So last year when I was telling you guys, hey, it'll probably take 18 to 36 months for things to get back to normal, we'll be shut down for a year, everyone's like, no, that's not true. But when you start to look and see, during every crisis, there is an opportunity for immense growth and wealth. This person filed for this on the 24th when most people did not find out that COVID was a real thing until March. There's an old saying to follow the money, and this is one of those cases where if you did some digging, you could see what could have come from COVID. Buffett predicts there's going to be a crash based on his indicators. So if you look up here, this is the previous high of 2000. And right now we're over that same area, which means we are slightly overextended. And some of you have messaged me like, hey, what do you think? I know you love Warren. Do you think we're going to crash? Stop worrying about the big short and focus on investing for the long term in a big fashion. I'll say that. Any drops, and I'll tell you guys honestly, anytime that we have a chance for any major market or any top 10 tech stock to drop precipitously, as they would say on Market Mondays, we want to take advantage of that. Put this in chat. Crashes are a chance for opportunity for those of us who are prepared. A lot of you guys hate crashes because you haven't done the work. I see it as an amazing opportunity. So if a house goes on sale, or let's say a business is worth $10 million and it goes on sale for $30,000, that is an opportunity of a lifetime to me. We should look at these crashes as the same, but are we overextended? Slightly. Domino's Pizza is up 7,000% since 2004. Google, of course, went public during that same period of time. So if we look here at this chart, we can see this built a base for a long period of time. So stayed at this level for a long period of time between 38 bucks in 2006 and got down to a low of $2.61. The people that bought this in the recession, in the crash, the last crash, the financial crisis, had a great run. And this is why I tell you, great stocks will stand the test of time. Terrible stocks fall apart quickly. So when people are like, hey, why don't you talk about something other than Apple, Microsoft, AMD, NVIDIA, VGT, VTI, Caterpillar, I'm like, I don't want to trade a great company for a shitty one because you may not have the discipline that I have. Put this in chat. Great companies will make you rich if you hold them for a long period of time. Holding them for a short period of time will make you poor. I put this on Twitter earlier. I'm like, don't you notice all the people who said that I was not for the culture, or I charged too much, or we didn't know what we were talking about? None of them help you get rich or get out of your job or retire. You don't have to follow me or like my disposition or thesis on the market. One thing I can say, when you follow the richest people to have walked this planet, they historically have held companies for a long period of time. Those who have not ended up in a poorhouse, right? So Domino's is a tech company that focuses on food delivery and pizza. Job well done to this company. And yes, this stock is amazing. It should hit maybe 644 within 3 or 4 years. Kudos to Invest in Lion. I wanted to walk you through 3 fun facts about Mercado Libre. Mercado Libre is probably one of the greatest businesses and publicly traded companies on the face of the earth that more people are not talking about and should be. It was the first Latin American company to be listed on NASDAQ. So you guys know I love NASDAQ, but anytime there is a player that enters a space and they're the first, if they have a competitive advantage or edge, is something I will look to add potentially to my holdings. More than 70% of their employees are under 30 years old. And then eBay bought 19.5% of Mercado Libre in 2001 and sold a stake in 2016. Now, hindsight is always 2020. I don't know all the conditions that made eBay sell Mercado Libre, right? I don't know all the conditions in which McDonald's chose to sell their stake in Chipotle. Answer this for me. With eBay, which most people don't use, more people are using Shopify. That's why I said Shopify is the new eBay, and Stripe will be the new PayPal. With eBay and McDonald's would have been better off holding the positions in Mercado Libre and Chipotle long term. Yes or no? I want to shout out Brianna for being up 181% on SPCE. And I know some of you got beat up in it, but this is the most important lesson that I want you to take from me. Or one of the most important ones. If you believe in a stock, hold it for 5 years minimum. Put it in chat. If you believe in a stock, hold it for 5 years.
My graduates from my school being Forbes, bag drop.
Bag drop.
A mic drop, bag drop.
Bag drop.